All right, and you're Jeremy Barnes?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, and Mr. Barnes, you're here to make a first appearance. A complaint has been filed against you in case number 2021 CR 118. And it alleges in count one that you're charged with disorderly conduct. This stems from a report on June 18th, which claims that you unlawfully engaged in brawling or fighting, and with the knowledge of probable cause to believe that this conduct would alarm, anger, or disturb others or provoke an assault or other breach of peace. This is a Class C misdemeanor punishable by up to 30 days in the county jail and a fine of up to $500. Do you understand what you've been charged with and the possible penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, this is only an allegation. You have the right to have a trial on this matter where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did indeed commit this offense. And you have the right to have legal counsel. And if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. What we're here today is to figure out how you'd like to proceed with this case, especially as it pertains to legal counsel. If you would like time to pursue your options, then I would continue this to a date, say a couple of weeks down the road. Or if you need the court to appoint you an attorney, we can do that. So how would you like to proceed today?
If you could allow me 3 weeks to retain counsel.
All right. Mr. Rich is here from the county attorney's office. Mr. Rich, do you have any objection to continuing this for 3 weeks?
No, Judge.
Okay, thank you. And so 3 weeks would be August 12th. And so what I'll do, I'm going to set your next hearing for August 12th at 9:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And that could change depending on the attorney you retain, and he or she might ask for another time or another date to fit their schedule. But
Okay.
If nothing else, plan on being here on August 12th at 9:30 in the morning, and we'll see how you want to proceed.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Rich, do you need anything the state needs further from Mr. Barnes?
No, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Barnes, do you have any further questions?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much for coming today. Yes, that'd be the 19th. I'm sorry.
Okay, 9:30.
I was looking, yeah, 9:30 on the 19th.
Okay. All right. That'll work. Thank you, sir.
I forgot what day it was.
Sir, if you'll wait just a moment, I'll print out a copy of the paperwork for you, and you can go to the clerk's office in there and have a copy of that, okay? Okay, you can go in there and she can, pick up that copy. Just right there, across from the elevator.
Mr. Fontes?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can come up and also have a seat at the tables. And you're Joshua Fontes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Fontes is fine.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Fontes, you're here today to make first appearances in two cases. The first case is 2021 CR 123 and 2021 CR 124. And it looks like in each of those cases, you're charged with one count of violating the Offender Registration Act. This is on the 123 case that stems from a report on April 26th of 2021. And on the 124 case stems from a report on June 4th, 2021. And it claims that you unlawfully failed to register with the Kingman County Sheriff as an offender within 3 days after changing address. And both those charges are the same. They're just on different dates. This is a level 6 felony, and it's punishable by up to 46 months in the state penitentiary and a fine of up to $100,000 on each count. If you would be found guilty of one or both of these offenses, you could be sentenced to serve your sentences consecutively, which means you'd finish one and then start the next, or concurrently, which means you'd send them, you would serve them both at the same time. Now, this is only an allegation. These are only allegations. You have the right to have a trial on these matters where the state has proved beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed each and every one of these offenses. You also have the right to defend yourself in public court, and by presenting your own evidence and challenging the state's evidence through cross-examination. And you have the right to have legal counsel, and if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. This is the same process as the previous defendant. If you would like to have some time to view your options, we can certainly give that to you, or if you need the court to appoint an attorney, we can do that.
I'll take a court-appointed attorney, Your Honor, because I wasn't even living in Kingman County until June 2nd.
Okay. Now, and before you start talking about the facts of the case, I also want to remind you this is a public hearing, and anything you say could be used against you. So I don't want you to say anything that you know unknowingly might incriminate you.
Yes.
We're going to give you an application for a court-appointed attorney, but I'm going to ask you a couple of questions right now. Are you currently employed?
I'm self-employed. I have been since 2006.
Okay. And what line of work are you in?
I'm a residential contractor.
Okay. So your monthly income probably changes quite a bit.
It does change quite a bit, and since COVID, it's been pretty hard to bounce back.
Yeah. So what have you been making per month?
Right now, I'm unemployment.
Okay, unemployment.
Under the
Okay.
PUA, yes, sir.
Yeah, and so I'm going to find that you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and if you'll just answer the questions on the application, just like you've answered them to me today. You know, you know, I asked this just for conflict type purposes for attorneys. You don't have any. Do you have any other cases in Kingman?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Besides these, so I'm going to appoint Mandy Stevenson to represent you.
Yes, Your Honor.
We will also give you Ms. Stevenson's contact information so you can get in touch with her. And then I am going to go 2 weeks out, and I'm going to set your next hearing for August 12th. I'm right on this one. At 9:30 a.m. and that'll give you a couple of weeks to contact Ms. Stevenson and figure out how you want to proceed on this case.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Rich, does the state need anything further from Mr. Fontes?
No, Judge.
Okay, and Mr. Fontes, do you have further questions?
I don't, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. Just be sure and leave that application with us. Did you get one of Ms. Stevenson's cards?
I did, sir.
Okay. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Richard, we've got a couple of people in the waiting room, but they haven't put their names on there, so we'll just see who they are. Good morning.
Your Honor, did you say 9:30 a.m.?
Yes.
I'll get you a copy of that paperwork, okay? Just wait right there.
Okay, yes. Here you
And
go.
are you complete with that? Just showing that you were here today for your attorney cases. And just, has your attorney's name and the next your name on it.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
So we'll do that.
You guys have a great day.
Thank you. We're waiting to connect audio.
There we go. Got it.
Ah, there we go. Can you hear us? Yeah, and you need to unmute. There you go.
It's my first time doing this, sorry.
That's okay. What's your name?
Jesus Hernandez.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Let me find your case here really quickly. So, Mr.
Ladies.
Hernandez, Yeah, Mr. Hernandez here on a bond appearance, it looks like, and Mr. Richo, where are we with Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, thank you, Judge. The charge that's been requested by law enforcement requires an alcohol test to be returned generally before my office is going to make a charging decision. We actually got that yesterday. So in the light of that now, I need to make the decision of whether or not Mr. Hernandez is going to be charged with anything. So I would request a continuance of approximately 2 weeks. Long before then, I will have a determination of whether charges should be filed or not. And then we can serve Mr. Hernandez if that is the case.
All right. Mr. Hernandez, do you understand that?
Yeah,
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this case for 2 weeks until August 12th at 8:30 a.m. If the county attorney decides to file charges, you'll be served with a summons. You can appear just like you did today. Now you've got some experience at using Zoom, and if you have to come back on that date, you can use the same information that you used this morning. That's August 12th at 8:30, and then we will see where we are at that point. And if you don't hear from anybody before that date, just go ahead and sign on that date and check back in with us, and we'll see where we are. Okay.
all right, sounds good.
And they'll either be charges filed against you, or they'll decide not to file charges, and then your bond will be returned.
Okay,
All right. And if when you sign on to Zoom, you'll see a little box, and it'll have your device name in there. And if you can just change that to your name, it will allow you to do that, and then we'll know who you are.
okay, all right.
Okay. And I know this is, yeah, it's people are having to learn how to do things a new way. I understand, but that's kind of where we are at this point. But thank you very much, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Uh-huh. You should see a button that says leave meeting.
Trying to, okay.
All right, can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? I'm telling him to try and rejoin. And then he'll see a box that says connect to audio when he joins.
There was somebody that called saying they were trying to get it on their phone and it kept getting files. Since I really don't know what it does on a cell phone, I have no idea really what it's on, so I double checked to make sure he was going to the right web address, you know. He said he would try that, so I don't know who he was.
Oh, he didn't leave his name.
He didn't say
Yeah,
who
no,
it was.
when you sign on your phone, it's the same.
Yeah, he said it kept giving him ads, which was not letting him make an account or something, so I didn't know.
Okay, here he is. There we go. Now you can unmute. There we go. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay. And what's your name?
Mark Demore Jr.
All right. Thank you. And let me pull up your case, Mr. Demore. Mr. Demore, you're here today to make a first appearance. There's a complaint information that has been filed in case number 2021 CR 91 alleging several criminal counts, and I'm going to go over those with you right now. In count one, you're charged with possession of a depressant, which in this case is alprazolam. This stems from a report on May 17th of this year. It's a Class A misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in the county jail and a fine of up to $2,500. In count two, you're charged with theft, also from May 17th. Claiming that you intentionally obtained or exerted control over property of services, which in this case was workout gloves, with the intent to permanently deprive the owner, Dollar General, of the possession, use, or benefit of such property. This is also a Class A misdemeanor, also punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $2,500. If you would be convicted of either or both of these offenses, you could be sentenced to serve them consecutively, which means you'd serve one sentence and then begin the other, or concurrently, which means you'd serve them together. Do you understand what you've been charged with and the possible penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
And these are only allegations. You have a right to have a trial in this matter where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did indeed commit these offenses. And you have the right to defend yourself in public court and challenge that evidence by the state through cross-examination, and even present your own evidence, although you don't have to present evidence to prove you're not guilty. You also have the right to have legal counsel, and if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. If you would like to try to hire your own attorney or seek out your options, I would continue this case a couple of weeks to give you a chance to do that. Or if you need the court to appoint you an attorney, let me know today.
Yeah, I'll probably need a court-appointed attorney.
Okay, we're going to send you an application for a court-appointed attorney that you need to fill out. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Are you currently employed?
Not at the moment. I kind of have a job. I need to call the boss and see if I can come back to work for him.
Okay, so you don't currently have any income, is that correct?
No.
Okay, and do you have any other cases pending in Kingman, such as with the city of Kingman?
Not Kingman, no.
Okay, I'm going to appoint Cody Smith to represent you, and we will send you his contact information. And I'm going to continue this case until August 12th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And that'll give you a couple of weeks to talk to Mr. Smith and figure out how you want to proceed with this matter. Do you have any other questions?
No, Your Honor. I think I got everything. I understand everything.
Okay, and Mr. Richa, anything the state needs further from Mr. DeMore?
No, Judge, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. DeMore, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, Your Honor. Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Okay, thank you. Did you hear from Mr. Garcia, who was scheduled for 8 o'clock?
I did, Your Honor, and we're working that out. We've sent some paperwork to Mr. Garcia, so I think we would ask for continuance of 30 days on that matter.
Okay, so we will continue Mr. Garcia. Let's say August 26th at
That should work.
8:30. At 8:30. And see where we are with that matter. And then, have you heard from Mr. Ward?
I have not, Your Honor. And that's a case that I either just got or it was uploaded to our system recently. So I haven't had a chance to even make a determination on that case. That's why it should still be in for bond appearance. But I have not heard from Mr. Ward. Likely a case will be filed and I can summons him in if you want to set a new court date.
Okay. Yeah, he did not show up for his bond appearance, but let's, how long do you think you need?
Well, I think a few weeks is good just because then it gives plenty of time for us to send out summons and for things to be served. I'm not so much worried about generating complaints and making charging decisions as I am the ability for somebody to actually get them served.
Why don't we continue this until that 26th date too? Plenty of time at 8:30 a.m. for Mr. Ward. Then at 9 o'clock, we had a payer appear on Mr. Quickendale. And he is paid in full.
Fantastic.
So that, so then we will see everybody. I think that's all I had for 8:30. Did we miss anybody?
I don't have anybody else.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Stevenson has a couple of cases, 9:30. She filed several continuances.
Yes.
And she has a couple of people, and she's gonna be appearing by Zoom as well.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.